So today we will learn the fifth chapter in science for standard 8th, Inside an Atom. Hey, this video was made just for you. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe.
So let's begin this chapter inside the atom. So what is an atom? Atom is the smallest unit of matter that all the things in this universe are made of. Can you recall what is meant by matter? What is an atom? What is the smallest unit of matter? We will study about these questions in this chapter. We have seen that matter is made of molecules. Molecules are formed from atoms. So, in our surroundings, there are various substances, and each of it is made of matter. And within this matter are molecules. And molecules are nothing but different forms of atoms. Effectively, an atom is the smallest unit of matter. So, the atom is the smallest unit of matter. An atom is the smallest particle of an element which retains its chemical identity in all the physical and chemical changes. So, no matter what changes you do to that substance, the atom of that substance will retain all its properties, no matter chemical or physical properties. The following table shows the names and formula of some substances. Complete the table by putting tick marks in appropriate box to indicate the information of the smallest particle and the type of matter. So here we have been given a table which comprises of the name of the substance, its formula and the smallest particle of the substance, whether it is an atom, a molecule and the single type of atoms in the molecule, different types of atom in the molecule. So we have to classify these and also the type of matter, whether it is an element or a compound. An element is a single substance, whereas a compound is a group of elements. So let us see the first example. The first example is very common and that is water. The formula for water is H2O, which is two atoms of hydrogen and one atom of oxygen. Hydrogen is denoted by H and oxygen is denoted by O. So water is nothing but two atoms of hydrogen and one atom of oxygen. So is it an atom? No, because it is comprising of more than one atoms. Therefore it is a molecule, because molecule is nothing but more than one atoms combined together. Is it a single type of atom in the molecule? No, because here we see there is hydrogen as well as oxygen. So there are different types of atoms in the molecule. Also, is it an element or a compound? Water is a compound. Next one is oxygen. Oxygen is nothing but two atoms of oxygen combined together. Therefore, it is a molecule and it is comprised of single types of atoms in the molecule. And this is an element. So you all must have noticed what a periodic table looks like, and all the examples that are put up on the periodic table are nothing but elements, because the periodic table is a classification of all the different types of elements that are found in nature. So the next example is helium, and the molecule formula for helium is He, and it is an atom. It is not a molecule because just one atom gives you helium. It is a single type of atom in the molecule because it's only helium and no other atom. And this is a part of the periodic table, hence it is an element. The next example is hydrogen. Hydrogen is H2, which is two atoms of hydrogen together. So it is not an atom but it is a molecule because it comprises of more than one atom. It is a single type of atom in the molecule. Also, it is an element. The next example is ammonia. Ammonia is NH3, which is one atom of nitrogen and three atoms of hydrogen combined together. So, it is not an atom but it is a molecule because it has more than one type of atom in it. And because there are different types of atoms in it, therefore it is a compound. The next example is nitrogen, which is two atoms of nitrogen together. Therefore, it is a molecule, but it has a single type of atom in the molecule. And it is an example of an element. The next one is methane. Methane is CH4. So that is one atom of carbon which is combined to four atoms of hydrogen. And this is a molecule, but it does not have the same atoms in it because there is carbon as well as hydrogen. Therefore, it has different types of atoms in the molecule and it is a compound. The next one is argon. Argon has a molecular formula of Ar. It is an atom and it is just one atom. Therefore, it just has a single type of atom. And it is an example of an element. The next one is neon, which is similar to argon because it just has one atom and it is denoted as Ne. Therefore, it is an atom with a single type of atom in the molecule and it is also an example of element. The last one is chlorine. Chlorine is denoted by Cl and it is two atoms of chlorine combined together. So it is a molecule and it has a single type of atom in the molecule. And this is an example of an element. So let us summarize this table. An atom is the smallest unit of matter and a molecule is a group of atoms. So if the formula has more than one atom, it will be a molecule. The next thing we have to see is the types of atoms. If they are different type or if they are same type. So if there is a single type of atom in the molecule, then it is usually an element. But if there are different types of atoms in the molecule, then it is usually a compound. Next, we will study about the types of substances. We have learned in the earlier standard that the smallest particles of most of the substances are molecules. So most of the time, the smallest particles are molecules and not just single atoms. The molecules of a few substances contain only one atom. So those that have just one atom are very few. Molecules are formed by the chemical combination of atoms. So when we seen in the earlier table, if they had more than one type of atom, there was a combination which was forming a molecule. From this we understand that the smallest particle of an element taking part in chemical combination is an atom. Therefore, in any chemical combination, whatever is there, it is always an atom which is taking part in it. And that therefore atom will never change its chemical or physical combination or its properties. The concept of atom is more than 2500 years old. However, it was forgotten in the course of time. In the modern times, scientists on the basis of experiments explain the nature of atom as well as the internal structure of the atom. So earlier when the atom was first explained, it was not able to see it because it is very small and therefore the scientists did not know that if it is true or not and therefore left the concept. But now in recent times when it is proved that an atom really does exist, they are now using it as the basis of many experiments. It started with Dalton's atomic theory. So Dalton was a scientist who gave his theory called the atomic theory. Do you know, Indian philosopher Kanand in 16th century BC stated that there is a limit to divide matter into small particles. So as you divide matter into smaller and smaller particles, you will notice that there's a limit. There's only up to a certain point that you can divide this matter. The individual particles that constitute matter were named by Kanand Muni as Paramanu, which means smallest particles. So when he divided and performed experiments, he noticed that only up to a certain limit that you could divide the matter of particles. So therefore he named it as Paramanu, which means smallest particles. He also stated that Paramanu is indestructible. So he found out an atom in 6th century BC, but he named that as Paramanu and he stated that that was indestructible, that is you could not destroy it. Greek philosopher Democritus in 5th century BC stated that matter is made of small particles and these particles cannot be divided. So he also stated similar to what Kanand stated. in which he also said that as you divide matter, you will get to a smallest particle, and that particle cannot be divided. The smallest particle of matter was named by Democritus as an atom. So he was the one who gave the word as atom. In the Greek language, atomos means the one which cannot be cut. So because atoms could not be divided, therefore he gave the name in Greek called atomos, which means the one that cannot be cut. Let's learn now about Dalton's atomic theory. British scientist John Dalton put forth in 1803 AD his celebrated atomic theory. So John Dalton was a British scientist who gave us his atomic theory. According to this theory, matter is made of atoms and atoms are indivisible and indestructible. So he said that everything around us is made of matter, and this matter is nothing but thousands and millions of atoms. And these atoms are indivisible and indestructible. That is, no matter how hard you try, you cannot break this atom. All atoms of an element are alike, while different elements have different atoms with different mass. So what he said was that atoms of an element are alike, that is, they are the same. Of one element, the atoms are the same, while different elements have different type of atoms and they differ in their mass. Try this. Take a solid ball and a bundi laddu. Press both these spheres with your palms. What did you find? So when you take a solid ball and you press it with your hand, you have to put a lot of force and you may not even be able to crush the ball. But a bundi laddu can easily be crushed with the palms of your hands. Cut the solid ball with a sharp knife. What did you find? So when you cut the ball, you will notice that the solid ball is filled with mass inside it. Therefore, it is made of matter. A bundi laddu is found to have an internal structure. It is formed by sticking smaller particles, the bundis, to each other. So if you notice very carefully, a bundi laddu is made of smaller bundis sticking together. However, the solid ball, broadly speaking, does not have any internal structure. So when you cut this ball as such, you will not find any smaller particles that are stuck to each other, like how we found the bundi laddu. The atom, as described by Dalton, turns out to be a hard solid sphere with no internal structure. So Dalton did not exactly see the atom and did not know how it looks like. So what he said was that the atom is like a ball and it is very small and hard and it does not have any internal structure. According to Dalton's atomic theory, the mass is distributed uniformly in the atom. So, since Dalton did not see what an atom looks like, he described its mass as distributed uniformly, that is equally, in an atom. But the scientist J.J. Thomson demonstrated experimentally that the negatively charged particles inside an atom have a mass of 1800 times lesser than the hydrogen atom. So J.J. Thomson was another scientist who, after seeing Dalton's theory, he performed several experiments. So in his experiments, he noted that the negatively charged particles within the atom have a mass which is 1800 times less than the hydrogen atom. Later, these particles were named as electrons. So now, within an atom, all the negatively charged particles are termed as electrons. Common substances are usually electrically neutral. Obviously, the molecules of substances and the atom which combine chemically to form molecules are electrically neutral. So, if you see around you, the book on your table or the pencil will not have any charge and they will be electrically neutral. Because in this substance, there is matter and these matter is comprised of atoms. And in these atoms, there are negatively charged particles as well as positively charged particles. And both these together make the substance as electrically neutral. How is an atom electrically neutral in spite of having negatively charged electrons in it? Thomson overcame this difficulty by putting forth the plum pudding model of atomic structure. So this is what J.J. Thomson's plum pudding model of atom looked like?
For the answers to this exercise and other free worksheets, please go to jkacademypro.com. This was the end of part 1. For the part 2 video, please click on the link in the description box below.